first of all, can you please introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Max. My name is actually Massimiliano Lafranca, but it's very impossible to pronounce it. So
Yes.
Max. Max.
So, good Max, and where are you from?
I'm from Italy, from Rome.
Before you moved here, what was your impression of Thailand?
Honestly, I didn't have much ideas. I didn't have a clear idea about Thailand, except some random exotic destination. I kind of heard about Phuket.
Yeah.
Start hearing about nice beaches when I was in London, but I really had no idea. I had a very generic knowledge about Asia. I've been traveling. Far East was India,
Okay.
but I never been to East Asia. So
India was the furthest you've been
Yes.
before you came to Thailand.
Yeah.
So why did you eventually decided to move to Thailand? What attracted you?
Well, that was for love. Actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
was it?
Yeah.
Serious.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
My wife is Thai,
Okay.
and we met in London. Her and I used to work in the same company, Unilever. And those global teams with lots of people, and there was this beautiful, exotic looking and funny, lovely girl. And then we started just being friends first, and then things went a little bit deeper, and then but then she came back to Thailand.
Okay.
So her assignment finished, and after a while I decided to move here.
All right. So you moved here for love, and
Well, this is this official excuse. I also got a great job in
okay,
Thailand.
that's big thing. That's big. Okay. So when you moved, so we're gonna be talking about your life in Thailand.
Yes.
So what did you wish you knew before you moved here?
I wish I knew how not to be too serious.
So you were serious, or do you think Western people are serious in general, or what's that?
I think we, as Western, as Farang, as you call us, so a very specific type of Westerners or foreigners. I think we tend to be very serious, and then we just realize it when we move here. Well, at least that was my experience.
Right.
I cannot generalize, but I think it's the positive and the negative of living here. I can tell you, sometimes it works, sometimes it works against. But I think in general we tend to think about things in life as like a bit of a struggle, and you have to overcome difficulties, and then finally you win.
Yeah.
And but here in Thailand seems to me quite the opposite. You take life as it comes, and with the positive and the negatives. I guess the religion has a lot influence in that. So I wish I knew how to take things more relaxed, in a nutshell.
So what was it like when you first moved here, living in such a relaxed society with the Western serious sense of thinking? What was it like?
First of all, it's been a huge, massive culture shock.
Yeah. How so?
In a lot of aspects of life, first and foremost, working here. I have to be honest, and I'm still kind of adjusting. I've been here 9 years, trying to learn Thai, working in both local and international companies, and in all honesty, it's every day a roller coaster. Some day you feel fantastic, someday you get frustrated. And that's where taking things in a kind of relaxed mode would help a lot.
Right.
And that's what I wish I knew before.
Would you say that this sort of relaxed mode that you're using here would work if you were working in Europe?
No, it wouldn't.
Okay.
But I know that I cannot adopt my style, the style that I adopt here. I cannot adopt it when I talk to international clients.
Right, so it doesn't work everywhere.
No. So for example, if here stupid thing that probably is mentioned many times, but let's say timekeeping.
Yeah.
And I'm Italian, which means already on the
A little bit
relaxed
flexible, yes.
exactly side of the spectrum. But so if we have a meeting that starts, let's say at 9, I know that here I can easily, take it easy, maybe 9:15, maybe 9:30, and I don't get frustrated anymore. At the beginning, I
Right.
used to be, crazy, but I cannot do this
I see.
in a meeting with someone from the UK, for example.
I see.
They
Yeah.
might set a meeting at 9:15 because 9:15 is just the time like 9.
Right. I
So
see.
I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
You need to change
Okay.
mode.
So you wished that you knew how to relax more,
Yeah.
but tell us about the first day that you moved here. Like the first day you landed in Thailand. What was that like?
I can't remember the first day that I landed in Thailand for good. I can remember the first day that I landed in Thailand.
Yeah.
My first time in Thailand. That was for a short visit. Actually, it was for an interview,
Okay.
a job interview, and I have a general feeling. I remember this feeling of comfort, and maybe because my wife is really. Like most of the times, if I can generalize, she is very attentive
Yeah.
to little things. And the day that I arrived, she organized for me a massage in a spa. So I just landed, and then we met, and she brought me to this spa because she thought, it's coming from Europe, like a long haul flight. And so I have this sense of like, what I know now, sabai, it's relaxed, and then this scent of the oils. So I have this general feeling of big comfort, easy. And the other thing I remember, it makes you laugh. I remember reading this complex Thai characters and the translation, and I remember this. Rama that stuck into my head, and I remember going back to Europe, and I thought that would be nice if I get that job in Thailand, and then with all these roads that are called Rama. I don't know, for some reason I remember this of Thailand.
So you kind of have lingering kind of thing that you might be living here.
Yes,
Kind of like.
but I suspected that I had general positive feelings about the job interview.
Wow.
And,
Okay, so let's talk about our favorite thing, which is food. Tell us what's your favorite dish,
okay.
Thai dish.
I'm a very loso guy. I love khao pad krapao.
ข้าวผัดกะเพรากะเพรา
Yeah.
หมูหรือกะเพราไก่
Krapao mu. Krapao gai due gan. I love it too. Yeah.
Do you do ไข่ดาว or not?
I do kai dao. Yeah.
So you would
So
go for กะเพรา
I
ไก่
would-
ไข่ดาว
Yes, for the full mix.
Could you tell us your favorite restaurant?
Oh, that's
Yes.
so difficult. I cannot. I mean, there's so many. Every corner here, there's something good. And I think it depends a lot also type of cuisine you like.
But if you
Okay, if I have to treat myself.
yes.
If I really have to treat myself, I have to be honest, I will go for Italian food.
Okay, of course you're
Sorry
Italian.
for disappointing you guys.
No,
but,
you're not disappointing in any way. Just
And I would go for Italian food, and definitely I would go to Gianni.
Gianni.
Gianni is right here. No, I'm not going to advertise, but here in Soitonson, nearby here. It's a very old, established Italian restaurant here in Thailand.
Okay, so is there anything that you wouldn't recommend a Westerner eating?
To be honest, no. I never had any problem.
Do you,
Okay, truth, I had problem once, but I can't remember what was the reason. Because I had misbehaved in two ways. One, I tried to eat the crickets, the
okay,
insects,
the bugs, yeah.
the bugs. And two, I was in a very local version of Songkran, somewhere around Prapadang.
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 Yeah. And you ate?
And no, we drank a local kind of whiskey.
Okay.
So I was sick, and I don't know whether it was because of the insect or because of the
Yeah.
bad whiskey.
Okay.
So, but in general, I never had problems. 9 years I've eaten everywhere, from street foods to top restaurants to... Oh, the only thing I wouldn't suggest, which I don't really like,
Okay, I'm listening.
is chain restaurants in shopping malls.
Okay. But you mean Thai chain restaurant or Westerners chain
In
restaurant?
general, I think it's not my thing.
Okay.
In general, shopping mall is not my thing. But those chain restaurants, like I always have the feeling that it's like not nice food.
I
Like,
get
very
you.
processed.
I agree. So, okay, we're done with the food. So you basically can't eat anything. You don't have problems with any kind of food.
Yeah.
What about, you've told us your restaurant, your favorite restaurant. What about daytime spot, like cafes or anything like that? Do you like any cafes in particular?
Oh, cafes. As you know, being Italian, so I'm a kind of a freak for coffee. So I have my spot for cafe that I like. There's a very nice cafe in Yanakart, nearby where I live. There are lots of nice little coffee
In
beans.
Yanakart.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think this is one of the magic of Thailand, to be honest. There's something for everyone. Whichever is your thing, you can find a different angle.
So what about your favorite night spots?
Okay, now let me admit something. I have 2 kids, so nightlife is like a dream of the past.
No nightlife.
Very little, but
Okay.
I absolutely love the river, and I think the area around
The river.
Bad Arun, yes, Chao Phraya River.
Okay, so you like that
I like-
sense of Thai, looking
Yeah.
out into the river.
Yes, and also I love those places that are now kind of recently opened in recently for me in Chinatown. What is it called? Soi Nana, but in Chinatown.
In Chinatown,
In
but it's
Chinatown.
called Soi Nana.
I think it's called Soi Nana.
Okay.
Place like
I've never heard of it.
Tep Bar or
Te Bar, yeah, I've heard
teenage
of that.
teenage of Thailand. Teens of Thailand.
Teens of Thailand.
Yeah, I like the area.
Okay.
Not the other Soi Nana, honestly.
All right. You're a married man. You can't go there.
I don't even know what is there.
Yeah, that's good. That is very good. So, what about other activities? Do you have hobbies? Do you go for mountain climbing? So, what else do you do here?
I actually do mountain climbings, but living in Bangkok, to be honest, most of my activities are here. I have a bike. I like to go around with my bike when I have some time, and if I have short time, I love to go to Bang Krachao.
Bang Krachao, yeah.
It's one of my favorite spots over there. Suan Rot Phai.
Sort of fine.
I bring my kids, we run, we go by bicycle. I have to be honest, this is my biggest difficulty of living in Bangkok is the total absence of
Not enough
parks.
greens.
No,
Yeah.
trees, cutting down everything and condo popping up.
Yeah.
It's a bit of shame.
Me too. I'm
Yeah.
having very difficult time. I get mad every time they cut trees. Very, very mad. I share on my Facebook and just, I'm angry at people. Just, we don't need more buildings. We need more trees.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I feel it. Yeah.
So you are now running this company, doing strategic planning.
Yep.
If you were to sell Thailand, what would be our selling point?
Oh. I think I would say as I told you before, the relaxed
Yeah.
pace of making things happen. Or let me rephrase it. Thailand has the magic skill of make things happen in a relaxed way.
Okay, I like that. Okay.
And it's a little bit positive
So
because
who-
sometimes things don't happen, but
Who would you think that will attract if you were to send out that message that we make things happen in a relaxed way?
I think it would attract people who are fed up of being stressed into a life cycle that they might not enjoy or they might not have chosen. I think here the pace is a little bit slower, and if you manage to adapt to it, then it's great quality of life.
So for that message and that group of people, if it would turn into a TV commercial, it would be like, are you stressed? Are you achieving things with your serious technique? Come to Thailand.
Come to Thailand. Or maybe you could say, choose your own balance. This is a place where you can.
Choose your own balance.
Yes.
I like that.
You see, working as a planner.
Yeah.
The art of making up words.
Have you had any the most shocking cultural shock for you? Tell us about that experience, if there is any.
Culture shock. Oh yes. The first year I was working here, I had a junior person working with me, and so the background is I just landed from the UK, working for a big multinational in a global team. Some way was a bit of the forefront of working independently, being proactive, doing stuff. Arrived here and I gave a task to this person to do something that, in all honesty, I think personally could have done in a couple of hours. And after a few days, I couldn't see any results. So I thought I had waited already a lot.
Yeah.
And so we were talking two sides of the table, and I was pushing him a little bit strongly. And then I remember the reaction that it wasn't particularly very, very nice guy, but his reaction was, I don't know why, he had a handkerchief on his head.
Yeah.
His reaction was, he took his handkerchief, he stood, he went, there was a balcony in this place where we were, he went to the balcony, walked one side to the other of the balcony, came back, crossed the door, and he went out. And he even left his stuff on the table, and he just disappeared.
Forever?
No, I came back after a couple of days.
Okay. So that mentality, you just couldn't...
I couldn't understand, but in all honesty, I had a glimpse of it with my wife because we had a similar problem. I remember one day I was asking questions about a workshop that she had, and we were having dinner, and then she was a little bit reluctant. She didn't talk too much, so I was probing even more. And then suddenly she stood up and she went into the other room. I don't want to talk to you anymore. So then I came to realize that what's behind this, that's the whole story that probably that Thais don't like confrontation.
Yeah.
And my attitude, my body language was probably very aggressive, and I didn't realize it. And that's how I came to realize that the way that you talk to people here, you have to be very, very conscious of your energy.
Yes.
I was joking with my wife. I said, look, I was born in Italy. If I talk to a woman and then she gets upset, she will start big burst and big shouting, and we have a big fight, and then after 10 minutes everything is fine. But here it's not like that.
We leave.
So, exactly.
Yeah. Not everyone.
Not everyone, I guess.
I really do burst too. I do the bursting.
You know what I actually learned, this is also about living with Thai people, is that to be correct, it's not that you don't burst, it's just your line of the limit, it's a lot bigger than in Europe. So if an Italian...
mean there are so many, we are more limited?
No. What I'm saying is that in Italy, for example, somebody will burst to a very soon.
Okay.
But for you guys, you try not to burst, try not to burst, try not to burst, and we don't understand. Try not to burst, and we don't understand. Try, and at some point is nuclear war.
Right.
So
that is so true. That is so true. So would you say that Thai people are more sensitive, or what? You know,
I think that Thai people are more
mentality.
attentive to nuances.
Yeah.
I like to connect strange things. Maybe I'm totally wrong, but I suspect that there's something with language. You are studying Thai. What I'm learning is that, you know, changing a little tone will change everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you make the mistake on the tone of voice, let alone you can see a completely different word, right, in Thai. But the message will be very, very different, and I think we don't realize that, and I think that this thing kind of trains you to be very attentive to little nuances, body language, client meetings. I might say something that I think is quite normal, quite plain, and it comes across very aggressive.
Oh, okay. That's interesting, because I'm a Thai. I've never thought of myself as very attentive to tones and stuff, but now that you're explaining it, I kind of, that's kind of true, because when we were young, growing up, you know, my mom would say, why did you sound like that, or raise your voice, or do things like that with your voice?
Yes.
Yeah, we don't like confrontation. That's obvious, and we tend to hold that anger, hold it until it's a nuclear war, as you said. Yeah. And is there anything about Thai people that you notice that you think, I got you? You know, something that you...
I got you in what meaning?
In a sense that, oh, so you like this.
I notice a lot of traits. I have to be honest. I try to refrain to generalize. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
There are lots of different stages of Farang life in Thailand.
That's true.
In my experience. One of the stage that I most hate, because it drags me into a very negative state, is the stage of I'm judging how the Thais are. Like I'm an alien, and I'm, you know, looking, the Thais are doing this, do this, do this.
I've seen that.
I hate it.
I've seen it a lot on forums.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. Oh, that's, I at the beginning I used to follow one of these forums. You probably know the most famous one, and I decided to drop off. I just couldn't bear all these negative feelings. Actually, you know what I did? I started collecting. I started a quick website for me. I call it Thailand Only. And I tried to collect all the things that I find absolutely fantastic of living in Thailand.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was in Chiang Mai, and then suddenly they stopped me in the middle of the street. They said that they wanted to cut my hair, give my haircut for free, if just for a donation. I said, man, look at my hair.
I've nothing left.
So he insisted, and then we had a haircut in the street, you know, or the little touches that Thai people always have for other people. To me, it's absolutely fantastic. So sorry, I went off track.
Yeah, that's all right. But I think I just find it interesting, not particularly negative at all, when you say that we're very particular with the tones and stuff like that. I don't find that negative. I just think as a Thai, it's so interesting to hear. Yeah.
I think, you know what, would be nice to have, and again I'm getting a little bit off topic, but it would be nice to have a little more integration sometimes, and play a little bit with each other a little bit more. This is one of my difficulties here, to be honest, to integrate deeply as friends, you know, the friends that you can touch their heart. Sometimes with Thai people. I mean, that's because there's a big language barrier, big cultural barrier. So sometimes there are not enough, to me, point of contact.
I totally get you.
Sometimes you can live your life, and then you can see it. There's also the negative for non-Thais living here. You can easily live your life here having no contact whatsoever
Yeah.
with Thai people.
That
You
is
can
so
live your life
true.
speaking English. You can live your life. If you don't want to make an effort, you can avoid making an effort,
Yeah.
and that's not good for both sides to me.
Mhm. Yeah. Okay. So do you have any Thai friends?
I have few Thai friends, but I still struggle. First of all, the Thai friends that I have, I noticed that they are kind of more Farang
Yeah.
friendly. I
Right,
don't know
right,
what to
right.
say. People who probably studied abroad who are in the mindset of opening up
Yeah.
a little bit more. Then I actually had made friends with other parents. My kids go to
Oh.
Thai dual language school,
Yeah.
so their parents tend to be Thai, and not necessarily Thais who
I
live
see, like
abroad.
real Thai.
Real Thai.
living
So
in Thailand.
made nice friends. My broken Thai try to communicate, and that's where you see the real nice
Right.
exchange.
I see, but not like in a deeper level. Just
That's
like,
because the language
parents.
barrier and the cultural barrier
Right.
played a role. I wish I would be able to break it a little
Yeah.
bit
You're
better.
talking about language. You've been here 9 years.
Yes.
What is the most difficult Thai word that you've learned?
I have problem with money.
Money.
Yes.
Ngon.
I can't pronounce this
Ngon.
ngongu sound.
Can you say
Ng-
ngongu?
I can say ngongu, but when it's in a like ngon when you tie it, right?
Ngon.
No, ngon. Hey, you see, I cannot.
You
I have
mean
problem
the
with that.
money? I think
Yeah,
you just said it.
ngon
You
the
said
money.
ngon.
Yeah, but I have to make a very effort, a big effort in
I
the
think when
money.
you don't make effort, you pronounce better. When you're
Probably,
just
yes.
slipping out, just a minute to
That's
go.
what my teacher says all the time. Just
Yeah.
murmur it. Yeah.
Out of 10, what's the score you will be giving to your Thai language speaking?
If I have to be optimistic, I would say 6, 7, 6.
Okay, that's good.
Realistically.
What's your favorite word to say?
I found a word that everyone laughs when I say it, so I tactically use it if I want to make people laugh, which is chip high.
Shibai. So, because that brings smile.
Yeah, exactly. It makes people laugh. It always happen when you learn a little bit of a Nordic word.
Yeah.
But I have to tell you that I am refraining from learning curse word.
So in general, you've had a good time living here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you were to say something to people who are thinking about moving to Thailand, what would you suggest?
Okay, first of all, I would tell them that you really need to be aware about what you are going to find here. I think Thailand is a bit of a dreamy destination for Europeans. Look exotic, everything is nice and comfortable, but there's a lot more to that, to be honest. So as I said before, for me it was and it is a roller coaster every day. So you need to be aware about that. For me, the first thing is being conscious that it's not as it looks like.
Yeah.
Said that, I will also say I would tell them to have a clear idea what their expectations are and understand whether you are somebody who can fit here, because not everybody can accept that. And
Right.
unfortunately, you see there are lots of news of Westerners not being happy here, or sad news about society. So it's not an easy place as it looks like when you first arrive. So
Yeah.
coming as a tourist is one thing, coming to live is a very different thing.
Yeah.
Now if you're conscious about that, it can be one of the best places to live ever, but you need to come with, cannot throw yourself in here and then think everyone will welcome you.
Yeah. I was gonna make this the last question,
Okay.
but I want to ask you a little bit about your marriage life,
Yeah.
because you must have dated Italian women or women of
Yeah.
of Europe. What is the biggest difference between the two cultured women?
In a relationship.
Yeah.
For me, being Italian, I think that the biggest difference is the way that we show love and affection. With Italian women, with my previous experience, it was a lot more obvious and a lot more out there,
Touchy.
yes, but also the way you can easily walk in an Italian street and see two people in their 60s or 70s, they're holding hands.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's something that we grow with.
Yeah.
Here it's a lot more distant.
Right.
I don't mean to say that there's no relationship, but
Yeah.
the way that you guys
We don't show love in public.
show it, don't show it in public.
Yeah.
You kind of I learned that you need to pay attention to the gestures of love, which is valid in general, huh?
Yeah.
But here a lot more. So I know when my wife is showing me love because of the things that she's doing, but it's not the same way that I would know it in my culture. So
Yeah.
again, it's about paying attention, being aware of stuff, being aware of things, recognizing that those little elements. If you don't pay attention to that, you can feel a distance,
Right.
which maybe is not there. You see, for an Italian, from point of view of an Italian.
Just as you say, if we show our love in different ways, we cook, or we do little things for you, and it's true. If you don't pay a little attention to that or giving some meaning to that, then you could feel distanced. Yeah. I love your points. Thank you so much. I love your interview. Thank